That's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give her something to handle. And you'll need 2 hands and probably a friend.
Oh, no, I can do it with 1, thank you.
I don't think so. Wait till you hear this song. Friends, let me introduce myself. I'm Ironmongrel Johnson. My friends say Ironmongrel is my name. Now you say how descriptive and what's his claim to fame. So I'll tell you why they call me that Ironmongrel name. When I was born it took a while for all of me to appear. My head came out and then me feet, but the end was nowhere near. The doctor stood and scratched his head and started to unfold this incredible piece of manhood about which the story's told. Nurses started blushing, disbelief was in their eyes. They had to find a yard-long tape to estimate the size. It elongated beauty, my ironmongrel grew. Its glistening length extended with a lovely purplish hue. And you should have heard them squabbling over who would give me care. Some of them would bathe me, often some could only stare. But when I left that hospital, a lot of tears were shed for this rampant rigid Roger with its perfect rounded head. They only had one problem as growing as a kid. That's where to keep old Ironmongrel so that he'd stay hid. But like a sentry shoulder's arms, I strapped him to me chest, and he stood there to attention, throbbing quietly in me vest. And Dad would take us camping, and I'd hold up the tent, 'cause a wooden pole could buckle, but Ironmongrel never bent. And for pointing out directions, they'd simply spin me round, and gaze along its gleaming length, and the destination's found. There it is, there it is. Then it wasn't long till little girls took an interest in me, and they'd pay $1 just to look, sometimes 2 or 3. They'd titter and they'd go all red and lust would fill their eyes. But none of them would risk their life on Ironmongrel's size. So I remained a virgin till I was 34, 'cause the girls would take one look at this thing and bolt on out the door. They'd gasp and moan and disbelief, and none of them were game to try their hand or other parts on Ironmongrel's fame. But then one night a friend of mine and I were in a bar, and I told him that with girls I just wasn't getting very far. He said, you know, I see the problem Ironmongrel might create, but I think I might have a solution if you'll listen to me, mate. He said, now, when you find a little girl who looks like she's been around, when she's had a drink or 2 and makes those come on sounds, take her back to her place and treat her really nice. And when you think she's ready, well, just turn out the lights. Well, I said, I never thought of that, and I found my luck was in. 'Cause that very night a gorgeous girl gave me a come on grin. We started talking naughty talk, and this thing led to that. So off we went to her place to tip Ironmongrel's hat, so to speak. And it almost went just like I said when I turned out the lights. We threw our clothes all round the place, so I had to deck the rights. And then she turned to me and said, Leighton, why'd you turn out all the lights? And I had to think real quick to save old Ironmongrel's plight. So I answered, I'm an atheist. And I felt the question mark between us in the darkness as we lay there bare and stark. But I hovered there above her, ready with me rigid rod. And she said, I thought an atheist didn't believe in God. That woman is my wife today, which suits me fine and dandy. She loves to play with Ironmongrel, always keeps him handy. She's a rampant sort of woman, so she walks a little bandy. But to our sons and me, she gives the names Roger, Dick, and Randy. True autobiographical tale.